Governor Scott Walker spoke to the Republican Senate caucus on Wednesday as a part of his statewide tour, talking about property tax reductions that typical Wisconsin homeowners saw on their recent property tax bill.
If you're like our household, the last week we got our property tax bill, and thankfully for our home in Wauwatosa, property taxes went down. Like on average, we're seeing around the state of Wisconsin, although it was a good reminder that portions of the tax bill went up. The portions that went down were driven by the action we took this past year here in the Capitol. And if it hadn't been for those actions, we would have seen in our household, like a lot of households, a significant property tax increase.
Walker pointed out that the typical homeowner's property tax bill is $141 lower this year than it was in 2010. He also pointed out that compared to the trajectory the state was on, the typical homeowner has saved more than $800 over the last 4 years. Walker later told the media that it was his hope to continue reducing property taxes after a report from Lieutenant Governor Rebecca Clavefish that showed it was a priority for Wisconsinites.
My goal is over the next 4 years, in 2018, I want to go and look back at a chart like that again and say, look at how much we've decreased it over the past and ultimately over the last 8 years. If I can point back and say property taxes today are lower than I started 8 years ago, I think that would be a remarkable task, and it would help us. And what I contend, when I hear, it's certainly what the Lieutenant Governor and others who've gone around the state has heard, and I think lawmakers, candidates in both parties have heard, is the property tax is by far the tax, not just this time of year, but all throughout the year we hear the most about.
A major reason for lower property tax bills this December was a plan signed by Walker last year that injected $400 million from the state surplus into Wisconsin's technical colleges, reducing their dependency on local property taxes about 50%. For the MacIver Institute, I'm Nick Novak.